It's inevitable if I can find the theme song. The most professional podcast on YouTube. It's inevitable if I can find the theme
We are
song.
organized, prepared,
Yeah.
professional.
Hola, amigos, and welcome to the Mark Out Mania. I don't know what this is. I don't know what this is, but Mania.
That is either.
I am Pedro Boyd. My beard is gone, aka the Royal Texan Spaniard, and we have with us the extreme James Sorno, aka Jim House, aka Kazuchika Osorno. How are you?
I am doing okay. I'm doing okay. Getting a little better. Feeling a little better today as opposed to last week. So, it's good. It's a good day. A little beat up. I'm doing my thing on Real House Radio last night, but I'm ready to rock and roll. Lots of stuff to get into.
Oh yeah, you're hinting at some stuff. I'm excited to hear. But you know who was throwing some bolts and stuff my way a little bit this week? It's the God of Thunder, Zeus King Dark. How are you?
What's up?
Yeah, Zeus is in my neighborhood too. There was thundering a few days ago. I was like, fucking Zeus.
That's right. I had to send some noise down your flat ass fucking state today.
What's the temperature?
You know what the highest altitude point in Florida is?
What?
325 feet.
That's horrible. That's yeah. No. It's at the top of my roof.
Zeus, I gotta know what's the temperature like over there? Did it improve any or?
I don't know. It's it's like in the 60s or some shit. It's 70. It's 70 right now.
The feels like
70.
It feels like temperature right now here in Huntsville, Texas is 96 degrees. That's the feels like temperature.
Brutal. That's brutal. It's 88 right now here in Orlando.
Man.
Yeah, it's our high today going to be 76.
See, this is when we envy users.
No, you don't, because we have smoke.
Brutal.
You got the damn forest fire somewhere again.
Oh man.
Somewhere it was like in Rochester the other day. There was a auto mechanic place caught on fire in the middle of town.
Oh dang.
Yeah. And that's like an hour and a half away from here, but still, so are these other.
Is it affecting air quality really bad or no?
It's these forest fires that are worse than anything. I've never had to deal with this kind of stuff in North Carolina, really.
Yeah. Oof, sorry to hear that.
Oh man.
Kind of sucks.
But yeah, so we had last night's Pedro's first night of Fridays.
Yes.
How did you feel that went? Because that was like a lot of originals and.
Yeah, it was all originals.
It was all originals. Okay.
It was all originals.
I had to get up and come back a few times, but.
Yeah. I was putting everyone to sleep. I don't know. It was okay. It's okay. It's all right.
You didn't engage as much in between songs as you usually do.
Right. I'm working on it. It's a thing in progress.
Did it feel good doing all your own stuff?
Well,
did it take away because you're not being able to get requests and engage with people?
So in 2023, and a little bit last year, 2024. I did the no request streams. 2023 was the fake summer tour. Last year, I tried to do a fake summer tour, but it got cut off in the early on because of something came up that cut off my ability to stream for a little bit. But I mean, I enjoy putting together a set list and just doing like a show, like a concert type thing. But that's just me.
Right.
But last night was I was messing up a bit. I was messing up a bit during the songs because I'm still learning how to play some of the new songs live. Because some of them, the new songs, the new album was mostly all like electric guitar. It's all electric guitar, even so. Figuring out how to do it with just the acoustic and myself is a learning process. But you know, it's just one of them things. But anyways, how did things go at Real House Radio last night with Jim House?
It went good. It went good. No complaints. Everything was rocking and rolling. Everything was, it was good. On point. Can't complain. Pat in the back. Loving it.
I try to catch the YouTube replay during the week sometime.
Hey, Joe boy. So, we got an actual big day of wrestling today, don't we?
Oh yeah,
there's two shows.
Yeah.
Money, 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 money.
Yeah, Money in the Bank. First off, Money in the Bank. There's a little controversy going on. Money in the Bank.
So what is it? Tell us.
Well, because TKO, UFC has a pay-per-view tonight. So TKO is insisting that a Money in the Bank finish before a certain time. So in order for that to happen, Money in the Bank, with all their expensive tickets and all the hoopla, is only 4 matches.
Oh wow!
Wow.
Yeah.
What are they doing? Pre-show stuff too, or?
I don't know. I doubt it because there's another show beforehand, and there's a lot of people pulling double duty.
Oh yeah.
So there's a lot, there's a lot of shit going around, and people complaining because you're asking me to pay X amount of money for only 4 matches, all because the TKO is demanding WWE finish before the UFC pay-per-view starts, because Lord knows the UFC pay-per-view brings in the most money, but that's another story.
Here's a funny thing too. I just happened to see the card for tonight's UFC earlier on, and I couldn't tell you who in the hell these people are.
So it's not even a big show.
I mean, it could be. I don't know, but they
Right.
don't have any. They don't have any stars, any names anymore. There's nobody. There's nobody I've ever heard of on this event.
Really?
Yeah, nobody. And I just like, I'm like, and now with you telling me this, it's like, well, why on earth, should we, should anybody care about this? It's dead, man. Nobody talks about MMA anymore. Nobody talks about UFC anymore. Conor McGregor was like the last big name.
Yeah. But they're not building any other stars, Zeus? I mean, they're nobody?
Have you ever heard of them?
No, I haven't had anybody.
Because people like you and Pedro are really like the litmus test. It's like, if you haven't heard of them, then they're not making news. They're not, they're not, crossing over into, into the mainstream. And there's so many more big name people in WWE. I mean, even people like, Rhea Ripley are starting to, hear, regular people talk about.
Right.
To what Zeus is saying, I'm looking at the UFC card. I don't know anyone. I don't know a single person.
Any of them. There's not one name of anybody on there, and there's certainly nobody on that event that's worth, forcing WWE to finish early for that bull crap to start. And how many matches are on that stupid thing?
Oh God, let me count them. Because so do I count all of them? The early preliminary card, the preliminary card, and the main card.
Just count them all.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13.
What?
13 in total.
And people, it does. UFC,
What?
Yeah, and UFC does not trend. People don't start talking about it. Even MMA fans don't start talking about it on social media until like the main event or maybe the fight before. It's all just so much nothing.
Yeah, man.
So we gotta suffer because the parent company has to have their 13-match show.
Is pushing their crap, yeah.
That's what I didn't know
the prices that they're charging. The prices that they're charging for matches is a slap in the face. Now, but don't go AEW on people have like 14 matches, but like 5 or 6 would have been fine.
Well, but I don't like 4 matches. Okay, for the price isn't great, but most of the PLEs are like 5 matches long.
Yeah.
So it's not that big a difference.
These are big gimmick matches.
Though. Yeah, I mean, they'll take time.
Matches.
Right.
Let's just hope no one gets injured.
And it's just like I say to people, when people tell me that, how great of a pay-per-view that Great American Bash 1989 was, we didn't need that 2-ring battle royal, and we didn't need 17 minutes of Brian Pillman against fucking Bill Irwin either.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Okay.
I remember that. Yeah.
So we didn't need either one of those 2 matches to only get 7.5 minutes of Sting and Muta. Come on, man.
Oh
yeah.
Zeus, did you say Sting? Sting, who's going to be in Texas for the All-In festivities I saw announced this week.
He better not go in the fucking ring.
I don't know about him being in the ring, but he sure was in the ring for last year's All-In, wasn't he? He did a little segment thing. Interesting. He's around festivities for this year.
When's he going to start walking his sons to the ring?
Oh,
yeah, that's gonna happen soon. Then he'll get involved. There'll be a father-son tag team match.
But you were there for the last match.
Unless he has them start working at the Performance Center or something.
You mean in New Japan? Because AEW treats New Japan as their, can we talk about this AAA show today? This WWE.
Yeah.
Because I'm looking at.
You got the card open. Open, Pedro?
I've got the card open, and I just want to say there are things about this show that just blow my mind. They blow my mind because when in your life would you ever have imagined Aerostar and Mr. fucking Iguana in a WWE anything?
I'll do you one better. Psycho Clown.
Yeah, well, Psycho Clown and Pagano are a whole other thing. That's a whole other thing.
Yeah, fucking Pagano. Can you believe that? Pagano?
Psycho Clown was arguably the biggest star in Mexico for a number of years. So that's not like as big a shock as. Are you guys familiar with Mr. Iguana?
No, not really. I mean, I've seen him here and there, but nothing crazy. No,
I've seen his name on. I'm sure I've seen a couple of matches, but nothing stands out that I can think of.
Yeah, I haven't seen him. Yeah.
He is a very skinny little man wearing very cheap-looking green tights and paints his face. He's super ugly looking. He's a skinny little dude. He just has a body like he just looks like he came off the street, like he came from working a job and he put on some tights and painted his face. He's kind of his head sometimes is bald, sometimes has a little bit of hair or something. I mean, he is the most indie, like local indie looking guy you can imagine.
He's Shark Boy without the gimmick.
I mean, it's wild to me. He's gonna be in a WWE thing. Aerostar is just crazy because I mean, it's just is he gonna jump off something high? That's crazy. But yeah, Latino World Order: Dragon Lee and Cruz del Toro and Lince Dorado versus Octagon Jr., Aerostar, and Mr. Iguana. Stephanie Vacour and Lola Vice versus Cheek Tormenta and Dalis. Dalis being in something is in WWE is insane. The bodybuilder wife of Negro Casas, who's 9 months older than I am.
How about that? How's that? Yeah, Chick Tormenta too. Come on.
It's wild. This is all wild. Ethan Page defends the NXT North American title in a fatal 4-way match against Javon Evans, Laredo Kid, and Ray Phoenix. That's the most normal looking match in a way. El Hijo del Vikingo defends the AAA Mega title, which he just won against Chad Gable. And then you got Legado del Fantasma, Santos Escobar, Angel Humberto versus El Hijo de Dr. Wagner Jr., Pagano, and Psycho Clown.
Pagano, jeez.
So here are my questions. Will Vikingo get injured? And will
he was on SmackDown last night. He's been doing a lot of SmackDown appearances. He got involved last night in the match of SmackDown, so he's being used already.
What will Pagano bust out the little cardboard door thing at some point? These are my questions. That's wild.
How many masks are they gonna get ripped tonight? Or will WWE put the WWE actually put the kibosh on that?
I hope they put the kibosh on all the AAA isms. But
yeah, well, we'll see. It should be interesting.
Like I hope with Vikingo, someone pulls him back and is like, "Hey, stop doing all the bullshit. Just do like plan 2 or 3 spots, and the rest of it just kind of just do. Don't constantly do dumb bullshit." But
yeah.
James, you said it's free. It's on YouTube, right?
Yeah.
Nice.
English and Spanish.
They said Mike Tenay was contacted about doing commentary, but
what? That would have been awesome.
Nothing came from it.
That would have been awesome. Mike Tenay. I haven't heard that name in a long time.
Because he did commentary on the original.
Yeah. That's pretty cool.
So that would have been cool, yeah. Well, one thing is definitely for certain. There's one thing that's going to be undeniable about this whole thing. AAA shows going forward, especially when it's going to be televised, will benefit greatly from WWE production.
Oh, yeah.
So
their graphics on social media are already a million times.
Yeah. That's true.
Yeah.
Even what little I've seen of the YouTube stuff looks a little better in terms of production. Sorry.
And I tell you this, that like AAA's presence on Twitter before all this was terrible.
Right.
Like, I mean, there'd be times where I'd go and like and retweet something, and I'd literally be like the first or second person to do it. Like, that's terrible.
That is pretty bad.
Yeah.
And even still, they don't have. It's not. I mean, if you look at their stuff now, I'm sure it's better now. But it's still it's not a good presence on.
Well, they fixed the Del Rio problem. It should be built off him real quick. So that's that.
Yeah, they took the belt off of him before he even lost it. So
Yeah, that was hot.
hey, but still, you cannot beat the Freebirds. Lost the World Tag Team titles to the Steiners 6 days before they beat Doom for them.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's hot. That's hot.
That's explain that to me.
Yeah, that's some shit.
I asked Teddy Long about that, and he shook his head. He said, there's some things they did. I just don't know.
I used to like the Phantom title switches. Oh, he just won the belt from so and so in Timbuktu. Really? He showed him on TV with the strap. That's hot. And a sold out, secluded jungle.
Yeah, the Intercontinental title in Rio de Janeiro.
Yeah, Rio de Janeiro. Yeah. Like Pat Patterson won a tournament in Rio de Janeiro. I'm like, really? Yeah, okay.
There's a lot of weird
But
shit.
it's going to be. I mean, I'm going to watch because I think it's going to be interesting to see how they work. How
What
everything
time?
works.
What time is the show, James? Do you know?
Yeah, 3:00. 3:00 Eastern. So, and then they got to. And then a lot of these people, after that show ends, have to run about 20 minutes over to the other arena for they gotta do Money in the Bank.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I've got that card pulled up.
Yeah, pay to go for it.
And you've got so you got Lyra Valkyria defending the Intercontinental title against Becky Lynch in a last chance match. If Lynch loses, she can no longer challenge for the title as long as Valkyria is champion. If Valkyria loses, she will be forced to raise Lynch's hand and acknowledge Lynch as the better woman. Cody Rhodes and Jey Uso versus John Cena and Logan Paul in a tag team
That match is going to absolutely suck, especially if it's only 4 matches on the card. It's going to be WrestleMania match part 2. The only thing that makes this interesting, the only thing, Pedro, is that you just happen to have both champions in one match on a pay-per-view called Money in the Bank.
Oh, interesting. So a cash-in could happen, is what you're saying.
A cash-in could happen on one of the guys, yeah.
Let's see. The women's Money in the Bank match. You've got Alexa Bliss versus Roxanne Perez versus Rhea Ripley versus Julia versus Naomi versus Stephanie Vicour. Stephanie Vicour doing double duty today. And the other person doing double duty is in the what's it called? The Money in the Bank men's match. You got Solo Sikoa, Elliott versus LA Knight versus Penta versus Seth Rollins versus Andrade versus El Grande Americano, aka Chad Gable. So yeah, he's doing double duty.
Yeah. And Seth Rollins last on SmackDown took out all the competitors from the Money in the Bank match, except El Grande Americano because he wasn't there. But he beat the shit out of Penta. They beat the shit out of LA Knight. They beat the shit out of Andrade. So, super interesting. See what happens. Now, everybody thinks it's going to be Seth Rollins who's going to win. I think you don't do it. I think you give it to LA Knight.
You think it's LA Knight?
I think you should. It's too obvious for Seth Rollins. It's just too obvious.
What about the women's?
That's a little more interesting. Rhea Ripley doesn't need it. You could do Stephanie or Julia. And then you know what? I wouldn't even do Julia because
they're not doing Julia. They're not doing Julia.
Yeah, because you've been teasing her with her versus
Zelina Vega.
Zelina Vega, right? So you wouldn't even do that. But I would give it I would give it to Naomi.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I think that could be really interesting.
Yeah, I would
Not
give
to
it to
mention,
Naomi.
not to mention, she could do a neon briefcase.
Oh
Yeah, that'd
fuck.
be
That'd
hot.
be that'd
Yeah,
be hot.
that'd be hot.
Yeah.
That'd be hot. Yeah, yeah. So
And
I think Naomi.
just as a side note, on um, on YouTube, WWE has the Octagon and Hijo del Santo against Art Bar and Eddie Guerrero match, and
Nice.
it's 23, almost 24 minutes, so that's the whole thing.
Wow.
And they also have the Rey Mysterio Jr. versus Psychosis match with I think that's Fuerza Guerrera
Yeah.
and some. So there's it's a multi-man match.
Okay.
So Rey Mysterio, Heavy Metal, and Latin Lover against Fuerza Guerrera, Madonna's boyfriend in Psychosis. Those are
Louis Piccoli. So WWE's getting you warmed up with AAA stuff.
yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
That's cool.
Collide.
Yeah. SmackDown was alright last night, but the line of the night, the clapback of the year has to go to John Cena. Him and Logan Paul closed the show last night. The promo after they threw out Jey Uso and Cody Rhodes out of the ring. John Cena was trying to cut a promo, and all the fans started chanting, "We want truth! We want truth! We want truth!" And John Cena smiled and goes, "You can't handle the truth."
That's funny.
That was hot. I was like, "Oh, that was hot." And he goes, "Here, it's our truth. Our truth is," and then he just went down and it was good the way he had it. So I was like, "All right, John Cena, good job."
You know, if
It's the
he
most
signs,
unsuccessful heel turn in history of the business, but yeah.
if Killings signs with TNA, I mean that'd put him right back at the edge of the WWE universe.
Yeah. They were saying that all that just came down to a money issue. Yeah. Because the money that they was paying R-Truth, what it boils down to, it was like he's almost getting Roman Reigns money, but he's not doing anything like Roman Reigns. He just sits in the back and tells jokes,
Well,
So
here's the thing: is if they want to examine who they're paying what in WWE, I mean, more power to them. I don't.
yeah.
It's no skin off my back. But
that's a TKO thing, Zeus. Come on, man. That's a TKO thing. That's not WWE.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I mean, it's whatever that is overall. But when's the switch gonna flip and you start looking at what you're paying these MMA guys?
Yeah. Yeah, I'd rather get rid of some of these MMA guys than get rid of all truth.
You want to save some money. I don't know what you're paying them. They're probably not paying them much of anything either. They never really have. They've never paid. Never paid.
They don't make decent money?
Huh? No.
No.
A lot of those guys, even bigger name guys, end up only after taxes and everything. Because there's when UFC clamped down on the money they could make from sponsors and who they could take sponsor money from, that just destroyed a lot of their profits. Guys, some guys were getting like, Phil Baroni was getting like $50,000 in the early 2000s for for one sponsorship across the seat of his trunks, man. I mean, there were guys that were making, hundreds of thousands of dollars a year on sponsorships, and then they switch to that to what they're getting now, and they don't get to pick what they wear. That you got to wear the Reebok crap, and everything else that that they can only have sponsorships from approved places, and it's just there's a lot of guys that are only making like 40 to 60 grand a year after everything's said and done.
So that's not enough money for me to get my ass kicked.
Yeah.
Shit. Yeah, I hear you. It's just, it's a shame. It's a shame, well, you heard what the Good Brothers said, right?
Yeah, what did the bitches say?
They were like, it's no longer WWE. It stopped being WWE the minute TKO took over. It's a totally different atmosphere.
Back doing nothing and getting paid for over 2 years.
Yeah.
So I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. Remember that? Remember? Oh,
yeah.
I'm gonna go back to WWE because I can be closer to my family. I can be there all the time and blah blah blah.
And boof! What happened? It went right back.
Right back to Japan. Well, I guess kids are out of school now.
Yeah.
And it's just like, they were just smart enough not to put a belt on you, so you wouldn't leave and fucking take it with you, jackass.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they have their own issues, but yeah, that's what they were saying. They were saying it's a different atmosphere because they don't value the same people. Like they don't hold the same value on people as a wrestler in charge would. So
this is going to be a little bit like the New Japan discussions we've had recently when it comes to Tanahashi. And sometimes people are like, well, what's Tanahashi doing? Why hasn't the thing turned around? And it's like he has to do what Bushiroad tells him to do.
Yeah.
And it's similar. Like this was like the issue that came down with Rossi Ogawa and Stardom, right? Last year. It's like Bushiroad's like, you need to do what we want you to do, and he wants to do what he wants to do, right? With the booking. And they were at odds about what should be done for business. So, they have to part ways, right? Because it's not working. You have to do what your bosses tell you to do. And so whatever Triple H may or may not want to do, he has to do what
he's got to do. Yeah,
TKO tells him to do.
Yeah,
people are a little spoiled, I think, by this idea, like the AEW thing, where the owner is, the booker and all this stuff. Like who is Tony Khan answering to? He doesn't answer to anyone. His dad don't care. His dad just like, oh, I love you, son. Here's some more money, Like, but I mean, really, like, what does he care, Go
buy a better quality of cocaine.
Yeah, here's more bags of cocaine. But the WWE is set up differently now. They answer to TKO. And what Zeus has been alluding to is that TKO is putting the UFC over WWE in terms of priority, right? When the UFC has kind of less names to bring to their branding marquee, right? Then the WWE has way better brand names to.
I would assume, Pedro. I would assume that the WWE brings in thrice amount of money than the fucking UFC does, right?
I don't know. I mean, I have no idea on those kind of numbers. Someone would have to look it up. I have no idea.
What was that, James?
I mean, I could only assume that the WWE brings in twice or thrice the revenue that UFC does.
Well, all right. So, all right. Let's.
I mean, is it safe to assume that?
So it says last year.
WWE is everywhere.
Last year, UFC made $1.406 billion in revenue. So let me see what WWE was last year. WWE made 1.398. So WWE was just under what UFC made.
Wow.
UFC made more money than the WWE last year.
I would have never have guessed that. Never.
So,
and yet there's not one recognizable star.
yeah,
Sports
some
branding.
like this Sean O'Malley. People know who that guy is in MMA. Kayla Harrison. She was Olympic judoka. Juliana Pena. She was a big name for a long time. She's the champion women's band. Jesus Christ, Kevin Gastelum is still wrestling. Is still fighting for him. That's sad.
See, because I'm not a big, I'm the casual viewer, so I don't recognize any of these names.
You know, I was just curious. So
Yeah.
I was saying that the WWE last year, according to Google or whatever, said made $1.398 billion in revenue. Do you know how much revenue AEW made in 2024?
Much.
168 million. So 1.398 billion versus 168 million dollars. That's
no, but Pedro.
that's that's like the sun to a planet like level of.
No, but Pedro, what about all the 8.12 billion people who watch it on Max every Wednesday? Well, come on.
So here's I found a thing about the fighter pay. Okay.
Yeah, go ahead.
So it's based on a tier system now, which they kind of had before. They also receive royalty payments based on merchandise sales featuring their likeness. It says that they can earn extra money through bonuses and other incentives. But if you've only had one to three fights in the UFC, you're only making $4,000.
No.
$4,000.
No.
So that and I'm not sure. So this is the overview, but
no way.
The last time that I heard it was 4,000 to appear, and then another 4 to win. Even still, $8,000. So in other words, when they pay you the $8,000, because only one of you is getting $8,000, the guy that lost is only going to get the 4. But let's say you win that. You win that fight, you're going to get $8,000, right? Then when they write you the check, you have to sign another check paying the 50% in tax.
Oh, no.
So then you got $4,000 that you have to pay all your bills from the last 3 to 6 months on.
And your corner people, the people who work with, no.
Damn.
Right, the corner, your corner people get
your
paid
whole
money.
crew.
Your trainer gets paid. Your manager takes money.
No, that's not even that's nothing, Zeus. That's nothing.
No, even between 11 and 15 fights in the UFC, you're only making $11,000 per fight.
That is not enough. That's nowhere near enough. No.
Yeah, so some of the stuff from recent ones, Gabriel Santos earned $114,500 and Jimmy Crute earned $101,000. So
no.
Yeah.
No, especially to get my ass kicked. No.
All right. So listen to this.
No, because they got the insurance, hospital bills. No.
Right. So that's how that went. So those guys made So Santos made 114,500 and Crute made 101. All right. So on this card, so that one guy, he won the main event, and then the other guy won in that was a draw. This other dude, the other guy, the Crute dude, he made 100 grand, and it was a draw.
Brutal.
And so listen to this. So this, they had 18,500 people at in Sydney, Australia. The total gate, the ticket money, total gate, $7.6 million.
Oh, they're charging fucking ridiculous prices.
Yeah, that's why WWE tickets are going up so much, is because they're doing this crap. And God, it's so sad, because like half of the card on this, half of the people on this card don't even have a Wikipedia page.
And yet people are paying the money.
Right? And see, I go back to I use this as a template all the time, is when Anderson Spider Silva fought he lost the rematch to what the hell's the name of that kid? Anyway,
what was that guy's name?
It was
keep talking. I'll be right back. Keep talking.
Yeah, so that fight, they made, like, I want to say they paid out $2 million to everybody on that card.
Oh wow!
And they brought in like $10 million that night. Like the amount of pay-per-view sales was even higher than that.
Right.
And then like it ended up being they're paying the fighters, like, it was like 10% of the gate, and then like, you have to realize, out of that, the two main event guys each got like $500,000. Or so it was $1 million just for the two main event guys. There was only $1 million for the other 16 people fighting on that show. And it's just they've had a real stranglehold on fighter pay. You really gotta love it. I mean, to do this crap anymore. Because I mean, but
it's almost like you're fighting for I wouldn't say nothing, because you can make money. But it seems like the majority of them are basically fighting for average pay.
Yeah, they're fighting for, and and it's like, when you look at the because they love to compare themselves to, to NFL and NBA and baseball and everything.
Not even close.
And it's not even close, man. Those guys are getting money in leagues that aren't even, bringing in.
The league minimum salary for a Major League Baseball player, meaning the least amount of the least that is legally allowed to you to get paid, the least amount of money you can make is $2 million a year.
Right.
Wow.
I was collectively bargained with the unions.
To be an active on the roster guy.
Right.
The lowest of the low. And then the upper end guys are getting paid what? 25, 35 million a year for the superstar?
Even more. Yeah.
So, we were saying UFC made 1.4 billion and WWE made 1.3 billion last year. You know how much the NFL made last year?
I'm even scared to ask.
23 billion.
Yeah, they're the NFL. I mean, they're the big boys on the block.
The NBA made 11.34 billion last year. Let me see the MLB. Major League Baseball made $12.1 billion in revenue last year. NHL, let's see what hockey did. Hockey did $6.3 billion.
Yeah, nobody touches the NFL. I mean,
No.
nobody. Nobody. When you got networks fighting over you, paying billions just to show your stuff, then yeah, come on. I mean, 200 million from Amazon Prime. You got to be shitting me. It's ridiculous. But on a happier note, NXT got a little. The NXT Women's Division got a little more prettier on Tuesday.
It had a problem with being ugly.
Yeah. Mariah June showed up.
Mariah May showed up. Although I think they have to change her name again because that's her real name. So they have to learn from the John Cena thing. So
Mariah.
That's her real name.
Mariah June.
Yeah, or March, or Mariah Monroe, or Mariah March, or someone with a double M.
Yeah.
Double M.
Mariah Whore.
No. How was that? A lot of people were talking about it, but I didn't see it.
She cut a little promo, and it was good. It was all right. It was sooner than expected, but it was cool. I mean, she doesn't do anything yet, but it's smart to bring her in after they got rid of Stephanie McKeer, after Jordan and Grace, after people are leaving NXT, being called up. Now you bring in Mariah May, and she gets the spotlight all to herself. And now she can work with Jada Parker, etc., etc., etc. So Ruka, the rest of the clan.
So I hate to go back to it, but I found the event. It was UFC 182, and it was Chris Weidman defended the middleweight title against Anderson Silva, and that's where Anderson Silva kicked him in the leg and broke his shin in half. If you've never seen that GIF or that
no, I don't want to see that.
It's an amazing thing. So
I especially don't want to see if you're only getting $4,000 for it.
Right. So the buy rate was $1.025 million.
Come on. Who's buying this shit?
So that's at an average price back then. That was like $55.
Right.
So that's like $55 million in pay-per-view, and then the UFC gets half of that. So about $27 million in that. Then the total gate was $6.2 million. Right? That's just a pay-per-view and the gate. So that's like almost $30 million, right?
Mm-hmm.
Almost $30 million right there. The payouts that are listed here from the Nevada State Athletic Commission. Chris Weidman got $500,000 for the fight, plus a $200,000 win bonus, and Anderson Silva got $600,000. Ronda Rousey, she got $100,000. She got 50 to appear, 50 to win, and she beat Misha Tate, who only got $28,000. Travis Brown got $56,000 because he won. He beat Josh Barnett. Everybody remembers Josh Barnett, who got $170,000. Jim Miller got $92,000. He beat a guy that made $8,000. Dustin Poirier got $46,000. Yeah.
How bad is that? How bad is that? You sit in the locker room. Guys, how much you made tonight? $600,000. You 8.
Yeah. Well, one guy made 10. One guy made 12.
Yeah.
And like I said, this is like when you total all that up, it's only like $2 million.
So they just pocket the rest.
Yeah.
Jesus. I mean, I've never really noticed, but how's their production? Do they put money into it like WWE does, or is just bare bones?
It's been kind of like something kind of in between. Like they overall they've always kind of wanted a spectacle, but they've never wanted to be, WWE exactly.
Right.
But Pride used to have a lot of like fancy entrances and
Yeah.
flash and flare, but I mean it's been a long time since I've watched a UFC fight.
That should tell you enough right there, right? That should tell you enough right there. That should tell you enough right there. What's a typical UFC pay-per-view going for these days?
80.
Okay.
Wow.
So it's about yeah. I'm not surprised at that though.
Yeah, and then this price applies when purchasing through ESPN Plus. If you're not an ESPN Plus subscriber, you can also purchase a pay-per-view package that includes an annual subscription for $134.98.
So hold on. So you gotta pay $134.98 subscription just so you can order the $80 pay-per-view.
Exactly.
Get the fuck out of here! What, are you kidding me?
UFC pay-per-view events are not available for purchase through cable or satellite providers.
Yeah. Too much for you. Nope.
But if you get, if you get the Disney bundle, you can order the $80 pay-per-view.
Man, that's cool. That's wild.
That's insanity.
$80 for a pay-per-view, man.
Yeah, I was wondering where to get the balls from charging WWE tickets so high. Now I see it.
I mean,
now I see.
If you're paying $80 for the pay-per-view, there better be like a fighter showing up at your house to host it or something. I don't know.
I'm saying, if I'm paying $80 for a pay-per-view, I want to punch somebody in the face. Like, come on. You gotta be kidding me. $134.99. Then you can order the $80. Yeah, okay. Yeah.
Hey,
they stopped reporting the buy rates and stuff on Wikipedia.
What's the hey Zeus, if you could look them both up for today, what's the crowds going to be like on both shows? Are both shows sold out?
For Worlds Collide?
Yeah, and for Money in the Bank.
Okay, Belky, I'll check.
Yeah.
Tag while we wait.
Hey, I wanted to circle back to the revenue thing for a moment.
Yeah,
I was curious because so we were saying
that's fascinating.
UFC was 1.4 billion, WWE was 1.3 billion, AEW was 168 million, right? What, something like that?
Yeah.
Do you know? So, James, are you familiar with this MMA promotion called One Fight Championship?
Nope.
So, I know Zeus
is based in Asia.
It's based in Singapore, but they do events all over the place. So they made $200 million in revenue last year. So this little MMA company made more than AEW.
Wow. And it's not like AEW are doing big buildings anymore. Wow. Wow. But you had 19.7 billion watch Dynamite.
There's
as of this morning, it looks like Worlds Collide. It's set up for just about 11,000, and they're there's only about 700 tickets remaining. So over 10,200 so far for tonight. Interestingly enough, UFC 14,697 tickets sold out of 16,182.
Really, for a bunch of no names.
Yeah, I know, man. Let's see. Money in the Bank, 16,242 out of 16,920. 678 seats remain, which I'm sure that'll be a lot less than that by the time,
Yeah. You figure half of that would be gone by the time the show starts.
Yeah.
What's crazy there is so both Money in the Bank and UFC are like in 16,000 plus places, right? Arenas.
Yeah.
And WWE has basically gotten 16,000 tickets sold, and the other one is short like 2,000.
Yeah.
So you would say WWE is more of a draw than UFC.
Yeah.
The TNA last night.
I heard the Iconics came back.
They said there was 17,775. 1,700.
Yeah, 17,000.
No, 1,700.
I was gonna say TNA has 17,000 since when?
Yeah, 1,700 out of 2,200.
James, they were doing a special. The knockouts were giving some services if you bought a ticket. So.
What? I mean, what was it? The return of Kimono Wanaleo? Like what? What happened?
Last night's SmackDown was 8,789 out of 8,801.
Wow.
12.
Yeah, it was in Bakersfield.
Yeah, only 12 seats remained.
So pretty much a sellout.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They couldn't book it in a bigger arena because something else was going on in LA last night. So I just had to take it to Bakersfield. So, but yeah, I heard the Iconics came back last night. Yeah. The Inspiration, the Iconics, whatever you want to call them. But other than that, Trick and A beat Elijah, so it means you'll be facing, I guess, Mike Santana again. I guess I don't know. Mike Santana's in the House of Glory show today in the Puerto Rican Day match against Tomohiro Ishii. So in Queens, New York.
Yeah, for Mike Santana Productions.
Yeah. Yeah. For Mike Santana Productions.
He's the world champion of Mike Santana is the world champion of Mike Santana Productions.
He's the HOG champ. Yeah. House of Glory champ. Yeah. Okay.
They're still running shows?
Yeah, that's the show today.
I hadn't heard House of Glory much since the pandemic.
No, that's the House of Glory show today. Yeah. So, because I had to look up. I saw Ishii in Queens. I was like, wait, what? I was like, hold on, I gotta fly in New York.
If you saw an Ishii match in the year of our Lord 2025, James, you would be like, I'm going to pretend he retired, and I didn't.
Yeah, it's horrible because all he would do is all he would do is stand there, just like give you an elbow to the face. But that's it.
So you remember how stiff and hard hitting his matches were, right?
Not anymore.
No, yeah, that I was like, when you see him do the strikes and stuff, it's just like the softest little pitter patting, sort of like.
Yeah, it's horrible. It's he's another one that needs to. You need to go. Every time at tour, get all your flowers.
Those guys hang on to those spots in New Japan like grim death because they.
Yeah, man. Well, hello, look at Tanahashi.
Makabe. Well, look at Makabe. Makabe's still got.
Yeah. How old is he? He's up there.
Job.
Let me see.
Yeah, he's up there too.
Togi Makabe. is 52 years old.
Yeah. There's a hard truth in it. There you go.
He's not in that R-Truth shape though.
No, oh no.
Shit, R-Truth got the damn. He's got the damn. Body of a 25-year-old.
R-Truth got the fountain of youth. I don't know what he's doing over there.
Ishii is 49.
Yeah. He moves like
Honestly,
he's 69.
He looks 59.
And moves like he's 79.
Suzuki is 56. Minoru Suzuki is 56.
Yeah.
Yeah. All the boys are getting old.
That's
the end of an era.
I hate to say this also, but if you're in charge of WWE, and they obviously have they observe the whole wrestling world, but I'm sure that there's people that have had the thoughts. It's like, God, we don't want to have what's happening in New Japan right now happen to us, and not be bringing up new stars.
Yeah.
Because they kept these guys that they're the new guys. I'm not going to call them the new Three Musketeers or whatever, because hell no.
Stop.
But all those guys are all right around 30 or so, and this is it's 5 years too late for them to have had a damn gimmick.
Yeah, they didn't. Well, we've been saying this for a long time about New Japan. They dropped the ball and all that. They dropped the ball.
Yeah.
They dropped the ball.
They didn't plan.
No.
Because they had a good crop of guys around 30 already, but when the yen dropped and Cocaine Con started throwing around that money,
that was it.
They ended up with a big big hole in their roster.
No, the one thing I can say about WWE is, I may not agree with all the shit that they do, but they're doing it smart. And then now they turned NXT into a viable brand. It's supposed to be their developmental, but now they're using Evolve as their developmental.
Yeah.
So they're having another revenue stream, another lower brand, and not only do they control these contracts, well, but they control the salaries as well. They don't have to worry about losing these young kids because they'll sign them to developmental deal. And if you pass a developmental deal on Evolve, you'll sign the standard NXT deal, and that you sign your standard NXT deal. If you get called up to Raw or SmackDown, you'll sign your standard main roster deal. So that they have these people locked down. That's a smart way of doing it. You're almost assuring yourself that you never run out of talent. There's always somebody in the pipeline.
James, clearly you're wrong. Clearly they're evil. They don't know what they're doing. They're losing money. They're losing. There's a big talk this week that the WWE is doing terrible ratings. They're doing terrible ratings in Netflix. The Netflix ratings are down the toilet. And people are like, oh yeah, and the AEW fans in Meltzer like, AEW's on fire. They're like, their numbers are going up. They're this and this.
They're as hot. They're as hot as that steak that Monet was eating.
Yeah, they keep saying AEW, they're being looked at favorably now by fans, whereas WWE is being looked at like it's terrible and all this kind of stuff. And I was like, isn't AEW still getting less ratings than NXT?
Yeah.
Their numbers aren't going up at all.
Every single week.
The stars are going up.
NXT. How are they going to beat Raw SmackDown? They can't even beat NXT.
Oh, Zeus is. I'm going to tell you something. Zeus is definitely my brother from another mother. Thank you, Zeus, for this trade on on Slam.
Did he give you a little Japanese whore?
Hey.
Oh.
It's Oscar.
Oh, okay. Oh, he's protective of Oscars. He loves his Oscar cards.
There he does. You know the
Yeah, then it can't even be NXT. What the hell?
I know. And here's another funny thing too is somebody was saying they've been making a big deal about the branding stuff. Slim Jim's now going to be on the tables. And
Yeah.
marketing, stuff like that. And there and it's got people like smelling their farts, going, oh well, the AEW ring's just a logo. And like if you look in the group chat right now, Pedro, you'll see.
Yeah, I saw it
they're like,
earlier.
oh no,
Yeah,
no, stupid unrelated, promoting.
yeah. I'll show this stuff here in a moment. Hold on.
And we've seen it, like what we said, before the show started. I mean, we've seen, AEW promote with other.
They did a Cracker Barrel match before. They had Cracker Barrel sponsor a match. Here you can see the Rick and Morty sponsorship.
I mean, they dressed up like Rick and Morty.
Right, and then here's another one that you got Adult Swim.
Adult Swim, yeah.
On the ring and stuff.
Battle for the Booty?
Yeah.
Battle for the Booty.
Oh Lord. Yeah, that's quality.
That's Rick and Morty stuff too, yeah. Yeah. But hey.
Yeah, so I mean, the way they phased evolved into the new they just they're ensuring their talent. It's a pipeline, and they don't have to rely on high price free agents.
Well, I mean, it's smart to invest in the people that you're getting young,
right?
And honestly, we've said this before too. It's like that. The most important thing is WWE and
right.
And you really can't, but at the same time too, there are a lot of rumblings where people aren't happy about, some of these releases, but
Yeah.
Well, that's a byproduct of buying AAA and TNA stars coming in, and something's got to give.
Right. Well, I mean, I think it's more about the amount of time that they have.
I mean, because you can't have 900 people on your roster. I mean,
that's what I mean, and just like we said, the Good Brothers.
Yeah.
They've been sitting around doing nothing for 2 or 3 years now.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh well, this is the way it is. And I see how you treat us. Like, man, you guys' knees should be all healed. Your back should be fine. You should be able to go wherever the hell you want to go. At this point, you ain't done nothing. I mean, apparently the Miz is gone.
Yeah,
is he? Yeah,
there's rumblings.
Is he?
Yeah. He's not gone yet, but the rumblings is that he will be gone.
Yeah, it's like he's another one of the ones that's after his contract expires, he's not going to be brought back. And it's just like sometimes you got to change the furniture, and he's kind of become a piece of furniture.
I agree. But all honestly, I thought that Miz would be a lifer. This is because he's the perfect guy who could teach younger talent how to transition and do media.
Yeah, you think so? You think he'd be, but maybe at whatever rate he's getting now,
right. If they bring him back at a different rate, gotcha.
Yeah,
Right.
I think that was probably a thing with Truth as well. Like they're saying about the money, but probably if they're like, okay, if you take less money, we can keep you around because Truth plays a specific role.
Right.
Like it doesn't have to be. Not all the roles have to be like important roles, like in a show. Like it can just be a smaller thing. But yeah, like y'all were saying, he was making money almost like a Roman Reigns or something. And
Yeah. And he's not doing Roman Reigns things,
right,
you know.
so
I
So
mean, he is really popular. He's really
he
popular.
is. He is. He is. And they're cutting the house shows too. Remember, so it's a little less revenue, and there's a little less need for an our truth. You know.
Yeah.
um
Which kind of goes back to that, the amount of time that they have for all
now
these people.
I'm gonna fantasy book something. I can't believe I'm gonna fantasy book this. This is not my original idea, by the way. Brian Bell told me this idea, but now imagine our truth in AEW. And imagine he's just showing up backstage with all the former WWE talent, and he's just telling Cope stuff like, "You need an edge," and things like that. And
Yeah.
he just keeps showing up with former WWE talent, acting like he's still like on Raw or something, and
I feel like he's still in Judgment Day.
yeah. It'll never happen. I know, but
Yeah.
that would be like funny. It'd be funnier in a way in that context than it would be somewhere else, but it won't happen.
I'm with Zeus. I think he shows up on TNA.
Yeah,
I think
most
because
likely.
It makes so much sense for him to go there. I mean, that's
I mean, he was there for a long time before that too. Remember? Yeah, he was a champ.
him and Road Dogg and
Yeah,
You
I
know,
mean, Road Dogg. Yeah.
you know what they need to have him do in TNA? He needs to ask if the NWA title is still around because he had it talk.
Yeah, that'd be hot.
Yeah.
That would be hot. That would be hot.
that would be really funny.
Hey, what about the
But,
WCW thing? Is it going on today, Zeus?
That's a good question. If WCW is on tonight,
it should be 6:05.
it should be.
I didn't see a video this morning because I usually catch them. They're usually in my feed.
Yeah, it's usually in my feed to reminder.
Now, I'm going to tell you all the strangest thing. I'm looking up WCW. I'm getting mostly wrestling results, but there's this one result. It says Magic Lingerie Miami Swim Week 2025, episode 96, best of Miami Swim Week. And it's just these half-naked women walking and people and some dinner at this place, and these people just like taking out their cell phones and filming their butt and stuff like that. Why did that show up for WCW?
I don't know, man.
72 hours of bare knuckle fighting. I get why that showed up. I don't get why.
Oh yeah. So tonight it says full episode Dusty Rhodes as a gift for the Rock and Roll Express from February 15th, 1986.
Oh, I see it now. Yes.
Okay, I'm trying to activate my thumb-timers.
Dusty Rhodes presents the Rock and Roll Express with a gift to help them remove the threat of Jim Cornette and the rivalry with the NWA Tag Team Champions, the Midnight Express. Plus, Arn Anderson puts the World Television title on the line against Sam Houston. Tully Blanchard takes on a young Ray Traylor. Action featuring Magnum TA, Nikita Koloff, and more.
That's the best piano in pro wrestling ever.
Yeah. A young Ray Traylor. Big Bubba.
Big Bubba, no trouble. Except when he's trying to catch.
Remember that? Hey, Zeus. Remember that whole shit with Big Show's father in the funeral?
Oh
Yes.
Yeah. That was horrible.
Oh, that was terrible. That was like an Adam Sandler movie.
Yes.
Yeah, I was like, what are you doing? Yeah, he's
Uh,
probably saying, yeah, I miss some scaffold days.
Happy Gilmore 2 is coming out.
Oh God.
Yeah,
Why do we
MJF
need
said it.
that? Why do we need a Happy Gilmore too?
Well, I'll tell you why. It's because the guy that plays Shooter McGavin is hilarious, and he's been nonstop about this and talk shit about Happy Gilmore almost every day. He's a great Twitter account to follow. You have to follow Shooter McGavin.
Is it MJF, Nikki Bella, and somebody else in this movie? You know, like a handful of wrestlers.
uh, Becky Lynch.
Becky Lynch, there it is. MJF plays Adam Sandler's son or some shit like that.
Oh God.
Oh my
I don't know, but
God.
I think Happy Gilmore has to go to Shooter McGavin to learn how to play golf again. So,
Mariah May.
but that's coming on Netflix, so you don't have to worry about paying $35 to go to see a movie.
Wasn't gonna happen anyway. Wasn't gonna happen anyway. I'm still trying to figure out this whole fucking Alien Romulus 2 thing you showed me yesterday, Zeus. I'm very upset at this.
I don't know why. I mean, I'm upset at the first one, so
I
I mean, this is just going to be the honeymoon. This is going to be the honeymoon.
I don't. Hold
They're
on,
going to
hold
wake
on.
up. Listen, they're going to wake up from the cryo sleep. They're going to be in the same tube, snuggled together under the covers, both of them butt ass naked. That's how the movie's going to open up. And everybody's going to be like,
That's
"Oh, he's
naked.
so brave!
Butt
It's such
ass,
a great movie."
butt ass
I
naked.
thought we're supposed. I thought we're supposed to focus on Alien Earth because it was the beforehand before Romulus, how the whole AI thing started. I thought that was supposed to be the focus, and now we're getting Prometheus 2. I mean Prometheus 2. I'm getting
Romulus.
Alien.
Romulus.
Yeah, I'm so upset right now. I can't even talk. I'm like, what are you doing?
It,
It's just another pile of
milking
crap.
IP. Milking IP is what they're doing.
That's what I said. They're butt raping the damn hell out
Damn
of
it.
the IP until it's
Why
dead.
does it have to be butt raping? But
Because it is.
Like, what are you doing? Okay, I'm trying to focus my energies on Alien Earth, and now you gonna throw this shit at me? No, it's bad enough Alien Earth exists. It's bad enough that exists.
It's much worse that they're making an Alien Romulus too. That's the worst of it.
Was Alien Earth
Ah,
the thing with the synthetic girl or something? And the trailer
yeah,
you showed us the other day? Okay.
yeah. That's when they catch like 5 different species from the thing, and
Yeah,
the
yeah.
ship crash land.
So we're going to get all kind of crazy aliens like xenomorphs.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, parakeet, house cat.
That's like cockroach xenomorph.
Yeah, I'm excited for the cockroach xenomorph. That's
It'd be like when like the Alien versus Mimic crossover with the giant cockroach people.
Yeah.
oh, okay.
I dug the first movie was okay, man. The rest of them were like, oh.
Yeah, I wasn't aware that they made other ones until I saw them on Tubi.
There's 3 more. There's 4 mimics, or like 3 mimics altogether.
Yeah,
I only knew about the
they
first one.
couldn't pull Mira Sorvino again.
I mean, the second one was real. The third one was like, why? You know. But I watched yesterday. I watched Predator: Killer of Killers, and I thoroughly enjoyed that. And I was telling Pedro in the pre-show, I better keep watching it and enjoying it because we know what's coming. Badlands. That's not going to be good.
Well, who wants to watch that?
No.
I don't. I don't even want to watch it.
No. I suggest you watch Kill of Killers, though. It's good. So just watch it.
Yeah, that I'll watch. But not melted. Damn.
Yeah, that guy looked like a marshmallow melted on his face, man. That's a fake predator. That's a, I mean, come on. You can't even call that a yautja. What the hell are you going to call that? A yuck?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Did you
What?
say use?
A yuck?
Yeah.
A yuck? I mean, come on. Total.
Terrible.
Yeah, but I enjoyed Kill of Killers. I thought it was good.
Yeah, I gotta log back into my Hulu.
Yeah,
Let's see.
I enjoyed that a little bit.
Just a little
Oh,
bit.
there's a lot of wrestling going, right? It's today, and then there's no wrestling tomorrow. Thank God.
Well, I'm sure somewhere. there's
Yeah,
wrestling. You know,
House of Glories today, and
I was thinking about this thing with we were talking about the sponsorship and stuff. And I was thinking about Japan. There's always a lot of sponsorship on the rings and the corners.
yeah, everybody's making a big deal out of it. This is nothing new. I mean, this is nothing new.
I mean, we saw they had the cross promotion with the rice vinegar company. I mean, they were selling the rice vinegar at the arenas.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Hungry?
Have y'all ever seen like CMLL through the years? Like their rings, the aprons, the Arena Mexico will be covered in like sponsorship.
Oh yeah, it's and nonstop videos of commercials as they come to the ring.
So I mean, it's weird like that. This is being like, oh, WWE is doing sponsors.
It's just modern selective outrage, and
well, not everybody's
somebody like fucking Dave talks about it, and fucking people listen to him. Like fucking, he's got worse sometimers than you do, James.
Yeah, that guy. Well, yeah, he does.
But Dave Meltzer also said Netflix is probably better suited for a giant event once a month than a weekly TV show of pro wrestling. That's just reality. The platform isn't built for appointment-based viewing. It's built for binge watching or casual drop-in. That's not how wrestling fans operate, according to Dave Meltzer.
Look, I have no issue with it being on Netflix. I think it runs a little smoother because there's not as many commercials. But that's just me, you know. It's paced a little better. Now, I'm not talking about the quality of the show. I'm just talking about the show itself. It's a little bit of a better pace. It's fewer commercials, so I mean. And you get 3 hour SmackDown last night on USA with a million commercials. And you're like, why? But I don't see a problem with it being on a Netflix or a Max or a Prime or et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. I mean, if it works, it works.
Well, people are claiming that the numbers have gone down on Netflix. I don't know where this came from. I haven't seen it. I'm not saying it's not true. I'm just saying I haven't seen it.
Well, the thing is, if it's listed as the number 3 in the top TV shows in the U.S. today, then I mean that's still comparatively really good, right? That's good for Netflix. If you're in the top 10 TV shows, or the top 3, you know.
Yeah.
So at least there's a barometer. And why the hell would they want to lie? It's all that's all numbers based.
Okay, so I guess at the end
Why
of
is
May,
Meltzer so obsessed with the numbers?
I guess the May 19th episode of Raw drew 2.7 million global viewers. This meant the show finished 9th in the weekly top 10 ranking of English language television shows.
Okay.
Raw's total audience was identical to last week's 2.7 million. The total hours watched declined from 5.1 million to 5 million. Okay. WWE's low point on the platform remains 2.6 million global viewers for the February 24th episode. Okay. I don't know. Don't know what to tell you.
Meltzer.
There's still, I mean, I guess it's nothing compared to the 73 billion viewers on Max that AEW is getting, but
Right.
Pedro, don't lowball. Come on, you know it's 106.12 billion. Come on.
it's the entire. It's not just how many people are on the planet. Something like 8 billion. So I mean, it's all the bugs and
There
one
are
cell
less
amoebas
people
and
not
everything.
watching than more people watching. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. When you go, if you go to your local like grocery store or something, you can just start a conversation with someone about AEW and they'll know. They'll just know
Yeah.
because they watch secretly. You may have to do a secret handshake to get them to admit that they watch. But
Oh, AEW.
I don't even know what happened in AEW this week.
I have no clue. I just saw my. All I seen was people bitching. There was a 4-hour wrestling show with only 13 minutes of women wrestling and a chick eating a steak. That is not a good look.
And Zeus, you said that Mercedes won a title in Austria or something like that, or
Yeah, in a barn apparently.
wow.
I mean, it looks like it. Hey, James, do you remember when ECW used to have those events and like those they were like small circus tents or
Yeah.
the traveling revival tents and stuff like
Yeah.
that. It's what it looks like.
Those state fair shows they used to have upstate. Yeah.
Yeah.
But you know, speaking of AEW, I got these cards.
Yes.
For looking at cards this week, and oh yeah, this is the box. There's the box. We opened half of them on looking at cards this week, and I just wanted to say, I wish AEW was as good as quality as these cards are. 'Cause the cards are pretty nice. These the upper deck cards are pretty nice. Look, there's Penta and Ray Phoenix and Pac. Ray Phoenix. These cards are weren't bad. Yeah. Although you got stuff like Taz. I don't want Taz, but you got Spray Tan.
And you know he can see so good at night from all that spray tan bullshit.
But like, I mean, I don't care about Paige, but like this card has like cool like.
No, it's a nice looking card. Yeah.
I thought I don't like bald FTR, but this is a really nice playing card thing. Even like the back of it. I got one of James' former people, Adam Cole.
And now Michael Cole's got a better physique than he does.
Yeah.
Michael Cole's got guns, man.
Trying to think. Oh yeah, look, James. Look, Thunder Rosa.
Thunder Rosa.
Poor Thunder Rosa. What do I got to do? Show my.
Yeah.
Let's see. Oh, now this card, I do have to criticize this card.
How about poor Athena? She's the Ring of Honor champion. She doesn't even get to show up on AEW television, unlike the rest of the Ring of Honor champions.
She's been a champion for 600 and some days, man.
Yeah.
Look at this card. It's basically black on black. Like, who thought this was the thing to do? They should have done something to make him stand out.
Yeah. They should have just selected him and put a glow around him.
Yeah.
Look at this Penta card, James.
See, that's a nice looking card. Yeah. It's a nice looking card.
Yeah, the cards are way nicer than the actual AEW. So
are they good quality, Pedro?
Yeah, they're super thick. I mean, so open 2 packs this week. Next week on Tuesday, we'll open the other 2. And
Okada-san.
Yeah, we got the thing I was aiming for was Okada cards for James. And see, so we got this one for James.
Yeah,
we got this one. This one, I mean, unfortunately, has the Bucks, but you're getting.
That's the fucking Young Bucks. And Matt, then Nick and Matt. And
Zeus is getting Jay White. So
they don't even deserve to get called cock and balls because only rock and roll get called that.
I'll be right back, fellas.
So we'll see what happens.
Yeah,
what happens on Tuesday.
Yeah. Looking at cards.
James, I was surprised. I didn't know what cards to buy this past weekend because there just wasn't. There's a lot of stuff I'd already opened, or things I didn't care about, and I've been avoiding getting the AEW cards because my thought process always. Well, I thought process.
If you take away the 3 letters, if you take away the 3 letters, it's still a quality wrestling card,
Well, see, but when I looked at them in the past, like online, the cards didn't look very nice to me, like what I saw.
Right.
But when I opened these on Tuesday, I was pretty surprised. I was like, oh, well, these are pretty nice cards. They're nicer than those WCW cards we opened.
Well, those are not even cards. Those are pictures of somebody just cut them out and they fucking pasted it into a cardboard box. How about if we take this to the back of a cereal box and then that's all you did.
Yeah, those WCW cards last year were pretty bad, but
yeah, those are horrible. It's a caca.
La caca. Instead of la boo boo, it was la caca. La poo.
Caca. It is pure pee pee caca. Oh man, but it's interesting. It's interesting because the main event for Raw on Monday is Gunther versus Jay Uso for the Raw Heavyweight Championship. Now I don't see Gunther losing twice in a row to Jay Uso. Do you? Do you?
Maybe.
No. So I'm thinking either there's a cash in tonight, a cash in on Monday, or a big interference angle on Monday. Now, who interferes? I don't know. But I don't see a clean finish. The whole thing, unless you put the belt on Gunther, I don't see him jobbing to Jay Uso. So it's going to be some kind of schma, some kind of dusty finish.
I could be wrong. I could be wrong, but I feel I feel like Gunther is not going to get that belt again, nor not for a while. He's gonna, if he gets another one, it's going to be the WWE belt.
Okay.
I'm not saying off Cena or something like that, but I feel like his whole thing has been escalation, right? NXT UK, then Intercontinental, then the fake world title. So I feel like the next thing is WWE title. Like,
all right, fair enough.
I don't know when. Like it seems like it's down the road. But
So now, how do you get out of that booking, man? How do you
I think
put
you
the
laid
finish
it
in that
out.
match?
You laid it out. It's
Yeah,
either a cash in is happening somewhere or some big interference thing.
yeah. Should be interesting. Let's go, El Grande Americano.
They had a prediction thing on Slam, James,
Yeah.
where you have to predict who's going to win the men and women's Money in the Bank, and you have to, you get the card or whatever of who you predict. I chose my predictions not based on who I thought would win, but on whose card I wanted.
I was gonna say, yeah.
Let me see if I can find them. I thought they were kind
It's
of
got
neat.
to. I mean, it's too obvious for it to be Seth Rollins. It's got to be LA Knight.
So
Especially what Seth Rollins did last night. Him and his goon squad. They took out everybody who was involved in the match. See,
I
that's a good looking card. Yeah.
chose Penta.
And
Who do you think I chose for the women? I bet you know.
Stephanie Vaquer.
No, I chose
Oh, Julia, of course, yeah. Or yeah.
Oh, what's this?
I said I did too, of course.
Yeah,
So.
Yeah.
it's a nice looking card.
So Gunther, I think you're right, Pedro. So they got to get him out of that. So it has to be a cash in, has to be some kind of dusty finish or schmoz interference because there's no way Gunther's job into the fucking Jay Uso again.
I don't think it's impossible. I don't think it's impossible he would job again because he's a professional. He'll do whatever he's told to do.
I mean, unless Goldberg comes out and sets up his retirement thing.
Oh man, he has been talking about his retirement lately. That's fucking right. I didn't think about that, James. Damn it.
Mm-hmm. So we'll see. Super interesting. 4 matches, so get ready for John Cena. For Cody Rhodes WrestleMania round 2, they're gonna drag that shit out. That shit gonna be slow motion.
We need the rapper back. No, I'm joking.
Oh no, Travis Scott. You know what? Travis Scott can stay under the rock where he was found. Okay, let's just leave him there. And man needs a forklift to lift that belt. Brutal.
Anything else going on? Like not just wrestling, but anything? You mentioned Predator, Killer of Killers. Any other movies or TV shows y'all been watching?
I finally saw Sinners. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, Haley Stanfield, her and
Josh Allen got married. Yeah.
Finally got married.
Yeah, now she's officially a Buffalo Bill whore. Yeah.
Jesus, calm down. At least your team's won the damn Super Bowl.
Oh my god.
My team sucks, Zeus. Okay? They suck. The past 5 years they've been eating one. The Giants have been eating one.
Shut up. You beat the fucking Patriots twice in the Super Bowl.
Yeah, we did. Fuck Tom Brady.
You beat 2 Tom Brady teams. Shut up. And that's not even including the Bill Parcells one.
No. Phil Simms was the man in that one. Yeah. Well, no. Scott Norwood beat Buffalo. Well, right. Brutal. But yeah, the Bills are going to have a good. I'm looking forward to that new stadium, man. That's just going to be savage. I heard.
Yeah, I'm sure it's going to be amazing. All the people that are ticket holders are freaking out apparently.
Are they really going to upcharge?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh wow. Did either of you see that Netflix documentary about Brett Favre?
I
I did.
did.
I did.
I
I
did.
did.
Boy.
I did.
For some
What a
reason,
douchebag.
Stephanie and I watched it this past weekend. And first off,
What a fat boy douchebag.
it was not a great documentary. First off, it was not
It
very
really
well done.
wasn't, was it?
And what was weird to me, James, I don't know if you'll agree with this, but the segment of it about his sports career was better done than the segment about the actual like controversy stuff. That stuff
Yeah,
wasn't handled as well as the sports stuff.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't.
But
You
so
could tell that they were trying to dodge issues.
there is a moment in this thing where they show a censored inappropriate picture he sent to this girl. Do you know what I'm talking about, James?
Yeah.
There's a censored dick pic or whatever, and I never felt more like a man than when I saw how tiny Brett Favre. I was like, oh. I was like, oh. I was like, I'm packing way more than that. What the hell? Like,
how can you even lift a football?
I told Stephanie, I'm like, every man is feeling so much better about themselves at this point if they're watching this documentary. They're like,
but all he is a fat boy dirtbag who's never had to face accountability. It's plain and simple.
It really it felt a lot like the things he was saying, like on his little press conferences things. It really seemed like that was like rehearsed things that a lawyer.
Oh my God! Right? It was like he was reading it off a prompter. Yeah.
And of course now he has Parkinson's.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now he's going for the sympathy vote. Don't you feel bad for me? No. Because you and your little dick were being an asshole.
We need Stan Hansen right now.
Just relentlessly.
At the TV micro.
I mean, he was just relentless going after that too.
How's this, Robin?
I mean,
oh yeah, he was going after that lady relentlessly. Is what you're
saying? Yeah, he wouldn't stop. Like he was held.
Like
he was not being held accountable. He was
women in the world that would have spread their legs for him.
And he doesn't only just because he was Brett Favre, exactly. And and he just didn't take no for an answer. He got how dare you tell me no? I'm Brett Favre. I throw touchdowns. Yeah, Zero's your hero, buddy.
Yeah, I'm not.
NFL took a lot of shit for this too because they thought the NFL was kind of hiding him, but only because he was Brett Favre. He still had an image to maintain. He was putting money in their pockets. Well,
and again, let me say in this documentary, the documentary is not very well done because the one thing, the sports stuff, as I said, came off so much better done than the other stuff. So they're like, half of it is them almost telling this inspiring sports story about Brett Favre's career. And then they're like, oh, but look at this terrible stuff he did. And that part, they made the people you're supposed to be sympathetic to not very likable or sympathetic at all. Like that girl, like she went through a lot of crap, a very unjustified crap, but she couldn't be more unlikable.
Yeah. You hit the nail on the head, Pedro. They're painting her as very unlikable.
And like Zeus was saying that the stuff Brett Favre said sound very coached or whatever by lawyers. She needed some coaching or some direction.
Yeah.
I feel I feel
Yeah, 'cause
a
sometimes
number of
there,
people needed that in this. Like,
sometimes she was saying some things that weren't helping at all.
no,
No, no,
and
I think like because she obviously really thinks a lot of herself.
and
And
a bit too
my
much. A bit too much.
my point isn't that she is still wrong what happened to her. Okay, I'm not saying
no,
that justifies
nobody's saying
anything,
that's not. Yeah,
but this is we live in a world of perception, right?
yeah,
And in the perception, if the average person watches this documentary, they get inspiring sports story around this star that they know, and then this
Gold
stuff
digger.
is kind of it's kind of, I mean, or not really gold digger, but just like, look at this unlikable lady.
Yeah, but she comes off as a person who's I feel I should get this. That's how she acts, and horrible,
So
horrible.
like, in terms of, like, I could see someone coming away from this being like, well, but his sports stuff was cool, like I could see them
Yeah.
not being that, whatever. That's just human nature in a way. It was
yeah.
terrible. I'm not saying that's right. I'm saying that
No, no, no.
in the arena of perception.
What happened to her should
you
have
know
never happened. It was 100% wrong, and I totally agree. But
and the other stuff
you
was
hit the
worse
nail on the
almost,
head,
right?
Pedro.
The stuff with
Yeah,
the money
yeah.
fraud and
I mean,
stuff. That's worse.
he stole from welfare recipients. I
Yeah.
mean, you
Yeah.
gotta be shitting me. I mean, come on.
Oh,
To make a volleyball thing for his daughter.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. That was some. That
that's
was
some shit.
yeah,
And it's in the text. He couldn't get out of it. It was like an idiot. He used his phone. you know?
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, how long you bet for? If you're gonna do shady shit, buy a burner. I mean, come on. Don't use
Well, I
your
mean,
own
all that
phone.
was going to come back to him just because
Yeah.
and I actually that's actually so much worse. In I'm not downplaying her, but he took money away from people who really fucking needed that money for the wrong
Yeah.
fucking things. And but there he is, and then like you said, it's kind of a thing where we're just gonna remember him as the great quarterback guy.
Yeah. I mean, it's a shame because she's so unlikable, but you want to feel bad for her because it's a horrible thing to happen. But yet at the same time, you look at her and the way she's flapping the gums, you're like, yeah,
Well,
okay.
and
And then he stole money from the fucking welfare, and then people desperately needed it, and he's like, "Oh, but I didn't know." What do you mean you didn't know? You're in text asking, "Can I get caught doing this?"
Yeah, is this gonna
well,
come back to bite me in the ass? Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, it
hello.
is absolutely right in the ass.
but
It's
like,
like, how do
again,
you downplay that?
will you downplay it by showing inspirational sports stories,
Yeah,
story, and
Yeah, I
you
cheated the
also,
welfare, but I threw 4 touchdowns, Pedro.
but James, also, they made a whole deal about his dad in this, about his dad treating him bad and all this stuff. So
Yeah,
not
yeah.
only did they make him look cool and amazing as a sports star, they didn't give him a sympathy angle with his dad, and
Hey,
then they're like,
I was
oh,
spanked
but
by
here's
my
the other
parents. You don't
thing.
see me ripping off fucking people. Come on.
But James, I'm talking about the way that the filmmakers put this
Yeah,
together did a
yeah,
terrible job
yeah,
of putting
yeah.
this together in terms of, if you wanted to make him unlikable, like, you'd be better off reading an article or something, a well-written article or something about what happened versus watching this. Because watching this, it's like, he's so great as an athlete. Oh, his dad was bad to him. And then they're like, oh, and then here's these unlikable people saying he did bad stuff. Like, perception is going to go more towards him, like in a favorable way.
yeah,
It's just not well done.
No one got me too. No one got me, guys. The way he approached this women, he didn't even do it. He sent somebody else to do it for him.
Yeah.
He was like, "Here's the phone number. He's going to call you,
And I told
and you're going to
Stephanie because
show up." I
he
was
was
like,
used
"What?"
to this from college on, because that's what happens with a lot of college athletes and stuff.
Yeah, again, he's a frat boy douchebag who had to take no accountability for his actions. You know, he would send somebody else to say, give her my number, tell her I'm going to be here. At this time, she needs to show up. Like, bang, just like that. The balls on this guy.
Well, they're probably not that impressive, but hey, next week, a little note about next week. I will not be able to do the show next week. Pedro will not be able to do the show next week. So I guess we won't be here next week.
We kind of need you, Pedro.
But hey,
this is not a shocking thing. You can just say we're going to be unable to have the show next week. You don't make it sound like James and Zeus can have a show.
Oh, no, right?
But I do want to say something. Happy early birthday to James.
Oh,
happy early birthday
no.
to James. Happy early birthday to James Sorno.
Thank you. I'm defying doctors. What can I tell you? I'm still kicking.
Keep on defying.
The baboon heart is still kicking. But there you go.
Anything going on this week or the week after for you, James? Besides
no, my birthday's gonna be low key because I still got 450 stitches coming out of my neck. I don't get those removed until the 17th or the 18th, something like that. But no, I'll be on Real House Radio this week. After that, I don't know, because I got a whole bunch of stuff coming up with like a whole bunch of hospital related stuff. So I'm just playing it by ear. So we'll see what happens.
What about you, Zeus? You got anything coming up the next 2 weeks?
Nothing interesting. Hopefully we'll find out.
What about that podcast?
That podcast, we'll find out.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, so, I'm gonna see if I can actually get to roll the beer on my birthday. So let's see if I can do that.
We'll just it's just all about whatever they're doing to in post and everything. So
you should be interested in listening to. I'm ready to listen to that.
Yeah, it's not that long, So
Zeus is always a good thing to bring your insights to everything. It's a good thing.
Well, we'll be some other stuff and.
I want you to do another one of those game show type things.
Oh, the wrestling.
I was awesome. I was so pumped up. I felt like a cheerleader in the stands. I was like, "Go Zeus, go!" I had pom-poms and shit. I was waving them. I was like, "Yeah, go get them."
Does that guy still podcast?
Really, they're not even doing stuff anymore. The one
That's
guy who was doing the Mid-South
really?
stuff. He's not on. I don't see him. He just watches wrestling now.
He went full AEW for a bit, I remember.
Yeah.
And I was just like, "Fuck this guy."
Oh, brutal.
But anyways, what do I have? Just the usual Twitch activities. Over the next 2 weeks. Though I think the 18th I won't be streaming on Twitch, which is a Wednesday, but I won't be streaming because of other reasons. But anyways, we'll see y'all in about 2 weeks, God willing. Everyone take care. Have a great weekend and adios.
Peace.